Hey everybody, welcome back to Appify Your Business. In this video, I'm going to cover the new functionality with AppScript that has been integrated into the AppSheet platform. So historically, to use AppScript functions, you'd have to use some on-edit triggers in a back-end Google Sheet and other, more complex workarounds than directly being able to call an AppScript from your AppSheet app. So now that's been solved. There is a way to basically pass variables or pass column values and other data from your app to an AppScript function directly, and then have that function do whatever you want it to do. So I'm going to show you a demo on what can be done. Just a quick example you can immediately test out right now, and I'll make sure I provide the documentation that the AppSheet team has provided, along with the app script that I'm using in this demo as well for you to utilize if you wanted to. So in this application, a very simple task management application, I'm going to go ahead and add a new task. I'm going to call it repair pump. So I'll give it a title here and then a description. I can give more details if I wanted to. Repair pump in warehouse. And then I'm going to just skip over a lot of the fields for the purposes of this demonstration, but I'm going to also add an image as well for this task. There, so I've added a picture of a pump to my task, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. So with this task added to my app, when I go to Google Drive, I'll see that AppSheet is now generating, or more importantly, AppSheet with the help of AppScript is generating a document called repair pump. And in this document, I have the title and that description I put into the app along with the image itself. So I realize that's a really quick example, but it at least allows you to get started right now to kind of play around with this functionality. There's also some example templates as well that the AppSheet team has provided, which can allow you to share docs with other individuals through emails and stuff like that as well. So this could be extremely useful for some organizations, especially around field work, right? And the ability to generate documents from the data that's captured in the field, and then jump into that document and maybe finalize it before it gets published or sent to a customer. So let's look into how it was done. So first we'll look at the app script in the background that's being used for this. And you can see here, it's, we got about 38 lines here, including all the boilerplate stuff at the top. But essentially what we're doing here is for any of the AppScript functions, we're defining some parameters for this function. And these parameters here are comma separated values. So you could add more or remove them based on what you want to, but this is basically the parameters that AppSheet will then, that you can select in AppSheet to send that data from your app to the app script itself. And then down below, we obviously have, the defining of variables, such as the ability to locate the image that has been associated with the task in AppSheet, identify the drive ID, turn that image into what's called a blob, so it can be put into the document body as well. And then there's some other things in here as well, such as formatting the width of the document and stuff like that to make sure it's not too large for the document itself. And then there's also the pieces of inserting the paragraphs, such as the title and description as well, from that was submitted as part of that task. So when you basically, you could start with this template. I'll make sure I provide this in the notes below. And also, once you created your copy of this app script, you'll want to make sure that it's deployed as well. So under new deployment, you'll want to hit new deployment and make sure you choose a web app. and then deploy that application or that app script so it's ready to be used by yourself. So with your app script created, you can now hop into AppSheet, and we're going to go into the automation section, right? So first, let's look at the automation in general that I was using for this app, and that's there's a bot here called Create a Doc, and in this doc we have an event, and that event is basically just looking for any new records that are added to the task management app. It's fairly straightforward, and don't forget to check the section or one of my previous videos on automations too for a little bit more details in how these automation, especially events, function. Now, the next step is basically running some process in response to that event. And this process in this case is of this new task type called call a script. So previously we've had email notifications, SMS, webhooks, and the ability to create a file as a task, but now we also have the ability to call a script. And when you call a script, you're going to obviously associate it with a table, just like anything in AppSheet. And then you're going to click on this file navigation button, and you'll navigate to your app script in your Google Drive folder itself, right? So you'll see that it looks like any Google Sheet or Google Doc file. You can find that app script and select that for your application. And then once it's added to your app, right here, you'll basically be asked to authorize it. You'll see an option here to authorize this app script for AppSheet, so don't forget to do that. And then more importantly, after you do that, the function name. If your script has multiple functions, you'll be able to click this drop-down menu here and select multiple names that you want to, or a single name from a list of drop-downs that you would want to use in this case. And you can see these arguments or these parameters that I was talking about earlier in the app script, that when you set up your app script, you'll see what's available for AppSheet to use, and these function arguments will be down below associated with a formula input for each one of those. And this is where each of those arguments, we can choose a column value or a formula or whatever we want to do to send that value over to AppScript as part of those arguments with that app script. So in this case, I have the task name associated with the doc name, the description associated with the description argument, and then the image field associated with the image field. And then with that filled out, that's all I have to do, and I can hit save in my app. And then this is going to function just like I demonstrated earlier in this video. So with that, thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Appreciate you watching the video, and have a good one.